in today's episode of The Footprint, we'll be discussing about food waste in Singapore. In 2015, NEA has launched a campaign to raise awareness about food wastage in Singapore. Upon its implementation, there was a reduction of about 2,000 tons of food wastage. However, was this reduction fully attributed to the NEA's campaign efforts? Because in 2013 to 2014, there was a reduction of 9,000 tons of food wastage even without the campaign. So, is lack of awareness really the issue behind food wastage in Singapore, or is it something else? Well, let's find out. Now, let's understand from the consumer's point of view their take on food wastage.
Cannot finish.
Cannot finish, okay?
Usually what I waste is the vegetable because I don't like the vegetable.
Preference
of food, yeah. Over ordering. Or in a hurry.
Too much is served as a serving size.
No, no.
But I know that, for example, like NTUC and like some other like supermarkets, they charge less for ugly fruits.
I think certain restaurant, right? If you don't finish your food, then you weigh. Yeah, then you weigh, and then you have to pay fine. I think that's one of the
Maybe those excess food that they don't sell, they can give it to charity. Yes. I think some are actually doing it already.
Reduce the number of dustbins. I mean, like it's in the fact like because if you have nowhere to throw, right, we just gob it out.
Healthy lifestyle, I'd say, so like calories or whatever. So high calories means like high fat. Majority of consumers in Singapore, price will be a pretty big motivator. So if you say, half rice is like 20 cents off or whatever, I'm sure like it would be like taken.
From our findings, the lack of awareness might not be the main reason behind food waste in Singapore, but rather the lack of options and opportunities to incorporate saving food from wastage in an individual's lifestyle. The Footprint team has went down to companies like EcoWiz and the Food Bank Singapore to understand from a business point of view and the non-profits point of view of food wastage and their efforts in tackling this problem.
The most food waste actually comes from buffet. Yes, we like buffet. Yeah, so hotels is the place that serve most buffet. In shopping center, usually hot pot will generate most of the food waste. People tend to get more, and the preparation waste tend to be more. Ours has a built-in grinder, which means whenever you pour in the food waste, the grinder will work to tear the food waste down to a smaller piece for easier digestion. Hawker Center in Ang Mo Kio is one of the pilot project by NEA since N2015 until now, N2017. NEA, they wanted to move this concept to another two upcoming hawker center, one in Upper Changi, one in Bedok. We are working with the architects and also the consultant. Now, the upcoming like Fernvale, Sengkang, Punggol, a lot of upcoming hawker center is going to implement this food waste solution. We have this in Terminal 4 for one of the food and beverage establishment.
We have 205 organisations that we serve island-wide. So these are family service centres, senior activity centres, old folks homes, children's homes, migrant worker centres and stuff like that. So we will collect it from the central kitchen, we will drop it off at a home. These bag boxes, they are usually adopted by a corporate or a mall. NUS, we have it in some secondary schools and primary schools. As and when these boxes are at least half full, 3/4 full, then we will head over for collection. So our food pantry is a place that we try to get rid of the donations that are rejected by the beneficiaries, because in the past, all the donations rejected by the beneficiaries, we used to just wait for it to expire and then we'll just give it to like dog shelter or fish farm that they can use for animal feed. The past 3 years, we've been having Project Expired. So it's a food art competition where we turn expired food into art pieces, use it as an awareness tactic. This year, we came up with a cooking competition that encourages people to use ugly, bruised and close to expiry food. Okay, so we are actually part of the Global Food Banking Network. Every year, we are invited over to Houston, where there's a conference where like representatives from food banks all around the world, they gather, share ideas, and every country faces its own different like set of problems, whether it's going to be government support, whether it's going to be policies, whether it's going to be funding.
Now we've understood from a consumer's and business point of view, it's evident that companies and institutions are playing their part to raise awareness and even come up with solutions to reduce food waste. Now, let's see what else we can do for a more holistic effort in reducing food waste together.
Hey bro, what shall we eat today? I think I'm having the chicken ban mian. How about you? I feel like eating the chicken laksa.
Chicken laksa.
I don't feel so hungry today.
Oh, they have an extra small size here. Take a look, man.
Interesting. Waitress.
Downsizing is actually a very good option for those who have to rush their dine-in food. Around 30% of Singapore office workers cannot sit outside and eat properly because they have to rush. Additionally, it also targets those individuals with small appetite. So NEA actually did a survey and it proved that the biggest motivation for Singapore to prevent food wastage is saving money. So with downsizing, portions will be sold cheaper, and I'm quite positive that it can be a little form of encouragement for everyone to prevent food wastage, and this should actually be made available to as many F&B outlets as possible. Most of the solutions to target food wastage in Singapore is for business to business. Very little is being done to target individuals whose consumption is actually one of the major causes to food waste. 6 out of 10 Singaporeans waste food on a daily basis. Thus, there is a need for more opportunities to involve individuals themselves to save food.
Okay, so firstly, I think that the government should intervene and give more funding especially for the non-profit organizations. This kind of funding will actually bring about more efficiency and productivity to achieve their goals and make Singapore a more sustainable place. So as an environmentalist living in Ang Mo Kio, I realised there are actually eco-digestion machines that are in place in the hawker centre, and if the government could allow for the expansion for this project to reach out to all of the hawker centres that is under the NEA system, then it would be a great addition to the cost. Every Singaporean has a role to play. As long as we order our food accordingly to how much we can intake, we handle our leftover food appropriately, then I feel that the sustainability issue for food wastage in Singapore can be so much better and a better environment to live in as well.
Food waste is a world epidemic, and it is well past time that an average person started fighting back. Here's 3 important tips you can incorporate to do your part in preventing food waste. Step 1. Save and actually eat your leftovers. As a guide, make a little extra effort to label your leftovers so you can keep track of how long they've been in your freezer and incorporate them in your daily routine. Step 2. Avoid overcluttering your fridge. Out of sight is out of mind when it comes to storing food. Keep things neat and visible in your fridge using a first in, first out principle. After you buy new groceries, move the older products to the front so you consume them first. That way, we don't forget something is there until it's no longer good to consume. Step 3. Treat best before dates as guidelines. Don't pay too much attention to them, as they identify food quality, not safety. Instead, trust your sense of smell, sight, and taste. If something smells rotten or suspicious, then toss it away.
Looking forward to tackle the food wastage issue in Singapore, we must understand the factual reality we are facing now.
Sustainable issue, because food waste contribute quite a big part of our landfill. And you know our landfill is in Pulau Semakau, and the lifespan is only left with I think 25 to 30 years, which means 25 to 30 years from now we do not have any landfill unless government have another place for us to dump. So it's going to be a very big issue in Singapore, which the government come out with Sustainable Singapore, which encourages to recycle everything we can.
Summing up today's episode, it is not the lack of awareness, but rather the lack of options and opportunities for the nation to prevent food wastage in Singapore. Let's work together towards a more sustainable Singapore.